Where did I start? Honestly, this movie was very underwhelming. There were some very badass, awesome moments, but other than that, really wasn't that good. Raiden decides to become immortal, so, kind of sacrificing his own life for the tournament. Then he gets killed, and then the movie ends hinting that he's still alive. So, really, what was the fucking point? They do show a few of the iconic things that they do in the video games here and there. Scorpion does his get over here. Raiden does that flying thing he does. Liu Kang does his crazy kick thing he does. But they don't even have him do it right. Because it's really aiming for people's face in the games. But he does it to the chest in the movie. They also completely forget about Smoke. He is turned into a robot at one point. Helps capture Scorpion, and Sub-Zero takes the thing that's gonna end the world or merge the realms or whatever. And then when they go to see Shinnok, he's just kind of gone later. Because then we see Cyrax and Sector get destroyed and the old man get destroyed. But Smoke is nowhere to be seen. They just forgot about him. Speaking of forgetting about characters, they also completely forgot about Baraka. Unless they did intend that to be his death. It didn't seem violent enough for this to be a death. He got his face slammed into the ground a few times. Seems more of a knockout, but he never shows up again. Speaking of Baraka, once again, he died in the first movie. They only talk about that once. Everybody else that died in the first movie kind of just show up and they don't really care. And, not everybody from the first movie returns. Just Kano, Reptile, and Goro don't return. Kung Lao is also forgotten about for almost the entire movie. We get to see him fight some monsters in the beginning of the movie. And then we never see him again until he gets murdered by Shao Kahn. And probably my favorite scene of the movie. He uses his own hat against him, rips him in half, and then licks his own hand and says, "Fatality." I love that. Though there are a lot of Tarkarians in this movie, unlike the first movie, it was only Baraka. And this movie focuses on Liu Kang, so even though, yes, Liu Kang is one of the more focused on characters in the Mortal Kombat series now because of MK11 and the new Mortal Kombat live action movie, which came out around the time this movie came out. It feels kind of lazy since they're focusing on Liu Kang. Cabal, unfortunately, doesn't make appearance. Jax is like cyborg for some reason in this movie. He, shoots guns out of his arms. In the games, he uses actual guns with his arms, not, shoot bullets out of his arms. It's very weird. Liu Kang turns into, this big, giant dragon after he becomes kind of a god, just kind of like MK11. And he gets his ass kicked mostly off screen. He really barely does anything. Then he kind of turns back into himself and beats the thing or whatever. It's very boring. Scorpion also takes the thing out of the guy's head, and they just kind of forget that he did. Because for the rest of the scene, he has it. He has this green thing in his head that Scorpion takes out of his head. I only see for 10 seconds of him without it. Then after that, they just have him have it. For a while during the tournament, people survive. And then eventually they just start murdering them because, it's later in the movie. It's okay now. And then people that have plot armor don't get murdered, like Shao Kahn, he just destroys Kung Lao for really no reason. But when he fights Jax, he just kind of breaks his arm and then punches him. And then Jax is fine for the rest of the movie. And then he also fights Sonya. But he doesn't kill her either. He's not very brutal with her. But, when he has Raiden and Kung Lao, he just straight up murders them. It's, very odd. Is that a new one? Did they make a third one already? Or is this fan art? No way. No way did they make a third one already. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, overall, it did have some great gore, so if you're a Mortal Kombat fan that, simply likes Mortal Kombat for gore and you don't care about the storytelling, I guess the movie's good, but the movie just felt like a rehashing of the first movie with less of the characters from the first movie and more obscure characters in it that don't last very long. Striker's in here. He gets killed by Shang Tsung. I was about to say Shao Kahn. And Kentaro is in here. And he gets killed by Jax. But yeah, I guess that's about it.